So is Miles Morales joining the MCU? Well, we keep getting these reports, and quite often where there's smoke, there's fire, so I think it's something we want to pay close attention to. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the latest rumor about Miles Morales, where he could show up, and what this really means for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Now, before we do that though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and ring that bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are in the know. Well, ever since Donald Glover showed up playing Aaron Davis, aka the Prowler, in Spider-Man Homecoming, well, quite honestly, many people have been talking about Miles Morales and where he fits in the MCU. If you're a fan of Marvel Comics, you know the Prowler is Miles Morales' uncle, at least on Earth 1610. And that movie definitely teased the existence of a nephew, which everybody from that point in time knew it definitely has to be Miles. Now, we've had 3 pretty great Spider-Man movies, and Tom Holland has managed to appear in 5 films so far as the web slinger, making him the actor who has portrayed the character more than anybody in history. Now, we do know Marvel Studios and Sony are working out the details of a Spider-Man 4, and recently we heard from Amy Pascal that Miles Morales could show up much sooner than later. Now, many people have assumed that that meant Sony was going to develop their own Miles Morales movie and use that version of Spider-Man for all of their Spider-Verse films, but honestly, given the performance of some of them recently, that doesn't look very likely at this point, and now we got another story feeding the fire that he could indeed be showing up in the MCU. Now, we want to be careful here because this comes via scooper Daniel Rickman. And like we always like to say, it's not from Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, or even Amy Pascal. So we want to take it with a grain of salt. And honestly, as far as scoops go, this is kind of a 50-50 resource. And although it does seem very likely in the future, I personally feel like this story is closer to predictive guessing than an actual scoop. Now, what he is saying is that there is indeed plans for Miles Morales to make his live-action debut in Spider-Man 4. But beyond that, he doesn't provide any details. Now, Tom Holland has shared an interest in bringing Miles to the big screen for several years now, and it would make a lot of sense to have sort of a team-up movie with the 2 characters before laying out a plan moving forward. A lot of people think Tom Holland is going to exit the role as Peter Parker in the near future, and after Spider-Man 4, well, New York City might be needing a brand new web slinger. Now, does this mean Tom Holland could die in Spider-Man 4? I seriously doubt it. I really do believe Marvel Studios has Holland under contract for another Spider-Man movie, and more than likely those 2 Avengers movies coming our way in the form of Secret Wars. This would put Holland playing the character 8 times, which is a great run. And honestly, even though we probably won't get a lot of street-level adventures beyond Spider-Man 4 with this version, well, I would understand why he would move on from the character. Now, to be fair, I don't think this means Miles Morales suits up in Spider-Man 4, but I do think the framework story could absolutely be laid out. We've heard rumors of returning to street-level tales, and that would be a great time for Donald Glover's Aaron Davis to show up once again as the Prowler and kind of facilitate a very similar story that happened in both the comics and the animated Spider-Verse. Heck, in that Spider-Verse movie, Kingpin was directly involved, and we've been hearing ongoing rumors that Kingpin could be part of Spider-Man 4 with Daredevil, along with Daredevil, so you can see where a lot of these pieces fit on the board rather nicely. I think Tom Holland still has a lot of time in the MCU, more than they're showing right now, but there's definitely future plans for Miles Morales, and with Amy Pascal making it pretty clear they are going to develop the character, well, it makes a lot of sense to start setting him up now, and if you're going to integrate him into the MCU, do it slowly so that fans accept the transition properly. Miles is an incredibly popular character. I think it's a pretty easy sell, but Marvel has to do it right, and in order to do that, they have to nail the story. Obviously, if we get any confirmation on Miles Morales appearing in Spider-Man 4 or getting his own movie, we're going to bring it to you right away. Pay close attention to this story because I think it's going to be huge, and I think Miles Morales coming to the big screen is pretty much destiny at this point.